Hello, I'm Barralet and welcome to this Crystal Connections video. We're exploring 5 of my favourite crystals for the sign of Gemini. Now when it comes to astrology, we can look at Gemini from 2 different aspects. First of all, we can look at those that are born around late May into June. They're born under the sign of Gemini, and I have a special place in the heart for them because I too am a Gemini. And so Geminis are these beautiful sign. I'm going to say that about all the signs, especially my own. But they're renowned for, they're represented by the twins. They have 2 sides. Now sometimes that can be depicted as them being good and evil. I actually think there's more of like a public shining side that they have, and there's normally a quiet, more contemplative side. There's one aspect of Gemini that likes to go out in the world and gather information, and then the other aspect likes to take it and kind of assimilate it all in. They always have this kind of tick, 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 ticking. And they say with a Gemini, if the best way to keep them entertained is that they need to have constant mental stimulation. In fact, they say that a Gemini would rather talk about sex than actually have it because it gets the mind going in that way. So we're going to explore different aspects of crystals that would be great for helping Geminis to remain balanced. But remember, each zodiac sign also governs one aspect of our lives. Gemini governs our mental, learning, and our intellect, making sure that our mental health is great and that we are continuing to grow and expand and improve our education and our learning. So in this video, we're going to explore whether you're a Gemini, you know a Gemini, or you need to focus a bit more on your mental well-being or stimulating yourself mentally or learning more in education and focusing the mind. My favorite 5 crystals for all that kind of category. So let's dive in and explore 5 crystals for Gemini. Geminis in the mind will bounce from one different thing for another. When we try and pay attention to our mind and our thoughts, we notice there's like a little ferry jumping from one thing to the next topic, whichever interests us, of whatever sparkly thing gets our attention at the time. Geminis have this ability to be able to jump from one different category to the next. They can be rolling on the floor with a bunch of 6-year-olds pretending to be pigs in mud, and then they can get up and debate metaphysics and the state of the world with some professors the next. Enabling you to have this mental agility, whether you're a Gemini or need to be able to jump from one thing to another, is a beautiful crystal called Rainbow Aura Quartz. Now this is clear quartz, or this one's actually a smoky quartz, that has been fused with titanium in a heated vacuum. And so you get this beautiful rainbow color, and the titanium really helps with our flexibility and to be able to kind of jump and be able to be successful in a broad spectrum of things. The clear quartz actually allows you to accelerate and to amplify that. And if it is smoky quartz like this one, it also allows you to amplify, but also remain grounded in that. So a Gemini, if you're born under that sign or you're someone who has a strong Gemini energy in you, you may find that lots of different things interest you, or you'll go from doing one different thing to another very, very quickly. To ensure that you remain grounded, but at your best in each of these different topics, Rainbow Aura Quartz can be really, really powerful in that way. If you're studying a whole range of subjects or you want to broaden your knowledge base, this will also enable you to work and jump from one thing to another, but also bring all these things together. Even in my videos, you'll see how I like to tie crystals and essential oils and animal guides and astrology all in together. Very Gemini mind. So if you're trying to make things fit together, then Rainbow Aura Quartz can be absolutely amazing for that. Another crystal that is absolutely amazing for Geminis is Alexandrite. Now what makes this crystal so amazing? In daylight, it is actually green, but under candlelight, it'll turn red. Sometimes it's nicknamed as emerald by day and ruby by night. And it is this really cool crystal that is actually related to the Gemini sign and often associated with them. Now, what I really love about this crystal is, first of all, for Geminis, it allows Geminis to really consider different perspectives and to balance out their 2 aspects as well. Just like Alexandrite goes and shows the heart and gets out and shows that green kind of energy during the day, it changes and allows itself to change in those kind of quiet or more contemplative times. A Gemini that's out of balance may be too much out there and not enough quiet time. And what will happen is this social butterfly will end up being exhausted if they don't take time to land, to contemplate, and to allow all the information that they've gathered, all the people that they've spoken to, everything they've brought in to kind of settle and kind of fit in place. And they can be quite overwhelmed. And Alexandrite will really allow you to do that. It's kind of a bit of a stone of nobility, and it really helps you to remember that knowledge is power, and when we can bring that knowledge in and assimilate it, that's where Geminis are at their most powerful. Otherwise, they end up being a bit erratic and scattered and ungrounded. Where this can also help us, regardless of what sign we're in, is it really works well with the heart and allows us to consider different perspectives. Often when we come to learning, we get really fixed on this is the right way. And Alexandrite considers you to have heart and contemplate someone else's way. What if you are wrong about something in your life at the moment? Just sit with that idea. And Alexandrite allows you to sit with the idea of what if I'm wrong? What if I start learning something else? Or what if I try something else? And what could that mean? We all know that where we are today, we didn't believe all the same things we believe today 10 years ago. Somewhere we've changed our mind. And having that flexibility of mind is a real superpower and gives you mental prowess. Alexandrite allows you to consider different ideas, but to remain graceful and even admit, hey, I don't know the answer to that as well. So whether you need to consider a different idea or whether as a Gemini you need to take time to assimilate the information and pause, Alexandrite will allow you to do that. Each zodiac sign represents 7 years of life, with Aries being 0 to 7, Taurus 7 to 14, and thus Gemini is 14 to 21. And often what you'll find with Geminis is they're nicknamed the Peter Pans. They never want to grow up. They have that real playful energy. And I think that playful energy and that curiosity about the world allows them to keep on seeking that mental stimulation. And that's why they know all this kind of random facts and trivia and are really good at quiz nights and can be really great and insightful to talk to and communicate with and have a conversation with. To keep that kind of playful energy up, there's some great crystals, but one that I picked for the Geminis is one called Thulite. Now, Phthalite, I call the bow chicka wow wow stone. It really helps to awaken that flirtatious nature, that Don Juan or that femme fatale. And it doesn't mean that you have to be playful and flirtatious in a kind of romantic or sexual way. It's more about flirting with ideas and being playful. Geminis tend to be social beings, and people are often drawn to Geminis because of that light-hearted nature and that they make things fun. You know, they make great teachers because they are able to twist things around and communicate things in a way that will be understandable. They can take complex themes and simplify them, and this can be really quite powerful as well. When we're able to play with ideas, with thoughts, with different options, Thulite can really help us to do that. Thulite also helps us to communicate those ideas in a really playful and enticing way. Thulite kind of has an energy of air, which is that intellectual mental realm, and fire, which is that warmth and that playfulness. And so this is a really great one for anyone who's a Gemini, who wants to keep that playful spirit no matter how old they get, or anyone who wants to play and toy with ideas and find really creative ways to express them. Thulite will really allow you to do that. This quick talking Gemini has been talking about all these ideas and gathering them all together and jumping around from one thing to another. Are you exhausted? Well, if we do kind of bring in too much information, we definitely get exhausted. And sometimes we just need to focus the mind. A scattered Gemini is someone who's had too much information and hasn't had that time to assimilate it. And whether you're that scattered Gemini or whether you've just been studying or learning a new job and it's being a bit overwhelming, that's when you want to reach for Sodalite. Now, Sodalite, it's not a diet soft drink. It's definitely a crystal. And what is really great about this one is it works with the third eye chakra. Now, often we think of indigo crystals and the third eye chakra as opening our mind, helping with our intuition and different things like that. But that's not what Sodalite does. Sodalite, if we were to break this down and look at it on a microscopic level, it grows in perfect little cubes. And any crystal that grows in cubes and squares is about getting things in boxes and getting order and structure. Because it's to do with the mind, it's about getting order and structure to our mind. You know, on extreme examples, this is a really great crystal for panic attacks and overwhelm, people that get too much stimuli mentally and don't know what to do with it. But if you're just feeling a bit kind of too much is coming in, whether it be psychic information or learning a new job. I remember once when I was at a new job, there was so much to learn. By the afternoon, I couldn't remember how to use a stapler. That's where Sodalite is really great. So if you're not sure what to focus on or that you do need to focus, then this is a really great crystal. Reach for Sodalite and it will allow you to focus on one thing at a time, assimilate it, Know it really well, and then move on to the next thing. Maybe you're studying, maybe you're an overwhelmed Gemini, maybe you just want to learn a bit more and you're not too sure. Maybe you're a mature age student who hasn't been learning for a while. In all those cases, Sodalite is one that I'd really recommend. As I mentioned before, it's great for panic attacks. Panic attacks is normally when our mind gets out of control and we're getting overwhelmed. Again, this will help you to breathe and settle down. So hold it to the third eye, hold it to your chest, take some deep breaths, and one thing at a time. And it'll settle the mind, and you'll then be ready to take in more information and deal with that information. If the average person talks to 60 people a day, Geminis probably talk to 120. They are renowned for being those social butterflies. And as we step out into the world more and start to learn more, we interact with more people. Now, being that social butterfly type, or whenever you're out there gathering information, it can get overwhelming. And obviously with each person that you're interacting with, there's an energy exchange. And that can also be quite draining on you. And you can find sometimes Geminis, as they start to get older, start to get really exhausted and tired, and even retract from the world because they're overwhelmed by that. This is where every Gemini should definitely have at least one, if not 2 or 3 or 4, pieces of Kyanite. And I really love the indigo or the deep blue Kyanite especially. Kyanite works like spiritual barbed wire, and it helps to protect your energy and allow you to not lose too much energy as you interact with other people. When I go and do different festivals, spiritual festivals, where I'm talking to people ongoingly for 9 hours a day and talking about spiritual things and all the things I love, crystals and essential oils, I'm obviously giving them my full attention. I'm focusing on that person, and that can really drain me. So you'll always see when I'm at big events, I've got a piece of Kyanite in my pocket as a pendant or as a ring to help guard my energy and make sure I don't lose too much. This also works really well with the Gemini zodiac angel known as Ambriel. Ambriel is that angel that, first of all, helps us to bring in knowledge and to deal with that, but you often see Ambriel has one hand up, and that is that hand up saying, hold on, you've done enough for one day. Settle down, quieten down, back to your corner, go home, assimilate that information, and protect and guard your energy and really build that up again. So if you do find that you're getting overwhelmed by the amount of interaction and the amount of information that's flying at you, try working with Kyanite. Sometimes we don't have that option to just go home in the middle of the day, and that's where Kyanite can be really great. So these are 5 of my favorite crystals when it comes to bringing in that Gemini nature, whether we be born under the Gemini sign or whether we're focusing on that Gemini aspect of our lives of mental stimulation, mental health, learning, and education. I'd love to know, when it comes to Geminis and learning, do you have any other favorite crystals? There are a few others that I had to kind of, Bumblebee Stone and Tanzanite are other great ones as well. Adventuring can be really great. Is there another one that comes to mind when you think of Geminis and learning? I'd love to know. Please leave a comment in the section below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Adam Barralet. Blessed be.